It's time to get up. Nah. For real. Actual King Smith. Let's go. Wake up. What you sleeping on your life for? Wake up. Every day's a chance for more. Wake up. Hands up. Let the beat thump. Wake up. Hey, wake up. Alarm clock ringing, but your mind still tired. Dreams on snooze, yeah, goals on fire. Everybody talk, but few take steps. Same old excuses, different regrets. I ain't here preaching, I'm here reminding. Pressure make diamonds, timing divine. You got breath in your body, fire in your chest. So why you living like you set up for less? Get up off that couch, move your feet. New mindset every time we meet. No doom scrolling, no fear feed. It's the real talk over funky beats. Wake up. What you sleeping on your life for? Wake up. Every day is a chance for more. Wake up. Hands up, let the beat thump. Wake up. Hey, go. No cape, no crown, still king energy. Talk my truth, that's my identity. Life get heavy, yeah, I've been stressed. Still showed up, put hard in the test. If they doubt you, good, prove them wrong. Same doubt, fuel, make you go strong. Ain't waiting no luck, I hustle with faith. Mind on progress, foot on the gas and say what? Say now, say move, say how, say what? Get in the bed, shut up and get up and wake up. It's a moment, don't waste none. Wake up. Sun still rise, so you ain't done. Wake up. Beat knocking, let your soul jump. Wake up. Hey, wake up. Yeah. This ain't motivation. This is a reminder. Wake up.
Hey, what's up? What's good? What's happening? Welcome to my live stream. I am the Actual King Smith, and this is Wake Up with the Actual King Smith, January 20, 2026. I know it's been a minute. All right, but we here today. It is Tuesday, the day after Martin Luther King Day. Hope y'all either educated yourself, relaxed, figured some things out, and just overall enjoyed the day. Because I know that 2026 worldwide, depending on who you are and what you got going on, has been hectic, crazy, disjointed, whatever. And again, we are only 20 days in. I think the rest of the year is going to be an interesting year, especially with the midterm elections coming up. There always seems to be doom, gloom, and chaos around the midterm elections. And this year, I think it's going to be different than any other year that we've had in the past. So protect your neck out there is what I would say. Shout out to God Happened to Me's in the building, said good morning. Good morning, lady. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much. That's my boo thing for those of y'all that don't know. Today, I was curious. I wanted to figure out what's this whole Greenland talk about and why is it important? I'm like, can we really go in and use diplomacy to make Greenland the 51st U.S. state? I don't know how this stuff works. All right. So just wanted to see what I could find, maybe see what y'all, the viewers, had to add to this conversation and go from there. Before I do, I'm a sports guy. My college football team is the Alabama Crimson Tide, and they got beat by the eventual champions, the Indiana Hoosiers, who went undefeated this season, made it through the college football playoffs, and put the stamp on business last night, in which Coach Cignetti, the Heisman Trophy winner quarterback Mendoza, and that Indiana team closed out the season by beating the Miami Hurricanes. I want to say it was 26-21. Let me see what the final score was. Final score in the game was 27-21. My bad. 27-21. So shout out to Indiana for going out there and pulling out the win. Now, there's this Arctic ultimatum that's coming out. Trump has threatened 10% tariffs, which is the big word here over the last couple of months, tariffs on 8 NATO allies, including the major players like Denmark, Germany, UK, and France. Why? Because they are who he claims are standing in the way of his plan to acquire Greenland. He's even giving these fools a deadline saying that come February 1st, if y'all don't yield to these demands, those tariffs are going to jump to 25% by June. Europe is responding with a joint statement calling this a dangerous downward spiral and saying we are literally watching a trade war erupt over real estate in the North Pole. Now, I've never been to Greenland. I've never been to Greenland. I've never flown there. I've never flown over it, at least not that I'm aware of. So I don't know. I'm curious why. And I want to ask y'all, the viewers out there, chat, is Greenland worth alienating some of our closest allies? When I was trying to figure out why, some people are saying that it's about the rare earth minerals, which is it's always something. It's always about some type of resource, right? Others say it's just about acquiring one of the biggest land deals in history. What I would say is that if you're looking at getting something foreign made, something brought in from Europe, you might want to get it now before these tariffs become enacted and things that European car that you're looking at getting or that wine becomes a whole lot more expensive by next month. I don't understand politics at all, right? I understand that a nation wants to protect themselves. I get that. I do get that as a nation, you want to try to figure out ways to make sure that you're not faltering. But where does it stop? Where does it come on as infringing on the basic rights of other nations? Denmark technically owns Greenland. That I didn't know. But Greenland, as they came out and said, is not for sale. Denmark has basically came out and said that the U.S. trying to purchase Greenland is disrespectful, colonial, and potentially dangerous. But they are also an ally and rely on us for military protection in the Arctic because we're quite simply a lot closer. So do they risk some type of political fallout over this sale? If you were a country that had land somewhere far, far away, would you even want to deal with that land? We got a couple of comments here right now. Let's see. Michael Whiting 668 said, nope, not worth it. God Happened to Me said, oh, I now have the perfect topic for today. With today marking the end of Trump's first year, what has he done for and to America? Hey, that's a good question. That is a good question. Another commenter on YouTube said, hello from, I have no idea where that is. But I appreciate you tuning in. I agree with Michael Whiting. I don't think that it's worth it. I don't think that it is worth it at all. I know that the Arctic region is one of those regions that people don't necessarily think about. And I'm prior military, but I was never at a high level to where I had to worry about strategic thinking on how you stage things to make sure that your area and stuff is safe, or that you can reach out and touch somebody if you needed to. If you didn't know, I was a in-flight refueler on the KC-135, and I did a lot of aerial missions deployed across the world, literally worldwide. But so I have a basic understanding of aerial strategy, um, nation defense, and things like that, but definitely not an expert. But I would say a lot better of a strategy and subject matter expert than most. It could be about thinking not just tomorrow, but about 10, 15, 20 years ahead. I think that it's a military standpoint and why the US is trying to go after this. I also believe that there is some type of money to be made, because at the end of the day, let's face it, most decisions are all about the money. Like T.I. said, okay, if it ain't about the money. So I think that it's about looking at the future and some type of money potential that's there that broke people won't be able to do anything with. God happened to me said there is no actual purpose for trying to acquire any other state or territory. Okay. What do y'all think about what's going on in Minneapolis, Minnesota? It seems like what started as a protest about a hotel that kicked out ICE workers has now divulged, is that the word that I'm looking for, into this situation where a 30-something-year-old lady got shot and lost her life as she was in her car making a move that I wouldn't have necessarily agreed with doing. Other people have been pulled out of their car. Somebody else got shot in their leg. The last I heard, the Alaskan National Guard is on standby, and about 1,500 Alaska National Guard are looking at getting deployed to Minnesota to help keep the peace. It's interesting to me when you look at some of the news, right? Along with the ICE situation and stuff that's happening in Minnesota, you have our federal government that's pushing the narrative and saying that Minnesota and the people that are there have been part of some of the biggest fraud in history, and we're trying to stop that. And I don't know the specifics, but it had something to do with a daycare and getting federal dollars for a daycare that wasn't necessarily being a daycare. And the federal government tried to highlight that it was specific nationals from another country that was out here doing this fraud and getting millions of dollars. Minnesota seems to be dominating the news lately, and it makes you wonder if there's a reason why that the average person just isn't aware of. I'm wondering if it's my algorithm or if others are also seeing the same thing. You can't hear anything else about any other state in our US because it's dominated by these Minnesota protests. And second part, where are all these people in Minnesota? Like, how do they have time to protest? Like, I'm thinking about what it would take for me to get out and protest myself. I have a job, and while I'm not necessarily paycheck to paycheck, I'm also not wealthy enough either to where I go, I'm going to leave Minnesota or I'm sorry, leave my state in Maryland, go up to Minnesota, and I'm going to join these protests. Is my soundboard working? What do these people do that they have the time to be able to protest? I'm not so sure that people really even know what they're protesting or why they're protesting. Got to happen to me. To one of my comments earlier said that the biggest fraud in the U.S. occurs wherever Trump and his administration are. It's hard for me to believe, and I can't say that there's been honest deals or dealings in anything that's been going on in this administration. Have there been some good things that have occurred? Yes. But I'd be lying to say that I think that a lot of what's happening is for the average person. Take away, though, what I just said, and let's go down to the state level. Virginia just sworn in their new governor here recently, and on her first day, she signed like 10 executive orders. And when I looked at and read over what those executive orders were doing, it's basically about trying to improve the lives of everybody in the state of Virginia. And not just those that are able, not just those that are rich. A big part of what her executive orders were aiming at doing was tackling affordability, housing, things of that nature. I don't know about y'all, but I believe that the affordability that's happening here in the U.S. is getting severely out of hand. I'm 41 years old, recently just turned things around financially. And even with the amount of money I make, I'm still like, yo, this is ridiculous. I ordered something the other day. It was food from, where did I go? I don't remember where I was at, but I do recall when they came out with the sticker price going, there is no way in hell that what I just ordered cost that much. I want to say I was at Sonic's, and I picked up like a large drink and something else, like chicken nuggets. That's it. So it wasn't even like a combo meal. It was their chicken bites and a large drink. And they said $12. While they do have a $5 combo, right? And it's like a burger, fries, and it's like a medium or a small drink for like $5. But I'm like, how is it that the two items that I ordered are $12? You go out to the grocery store, you're buying the things that are necessary, and you take a look at the receipt, and you're like, does all of this cost this? I get that there's a cost of doing business. You got the logistics of things. You've got the businesses or the farms that are putting out, their products, manufacturers that are building things. Yet at the end of the day, it seems like it's the consumers that are feeling whatever our government policy is doing with how the cost of everything is sitting here in 2026. So I'm curious if Virginia's new governor is going to be liked and respected at the end of her term. I saw some memes that came out where she had this during the COVID years, this big old contraption over her head when they were telling people to mask up when they'd be out in public and things like that. And people are saying, this is the person that y'all elected to be y'all's governor. Politics is also an interesting thing, right? I don't think that I'm the brightest apple in the bunch, but I had mentioned to some peers, some acquaintances, that I would like to run for a local government position, right? Because I like to think that I would be helping people, giving a voice to the people so that they enjoy living where they want to live. And I got feedback and said that I was too nice to be a politician. And while the people in the group that said, and that was the general consensus, and while the group said that, you know, they didn't mean any disrespect by it, I felt like that was disrespectful. We're living in a world that most people want to call most politicians, you know, liars, frauds, scandalous, not for the people. Yet the people are who votes, you know, for them. Not everybody. Like, I know, right? You can say, well, I didn't vote for Trump. That's who the party had put forth, or that's what the, you know, that's who the people ended up, you know, putting in. But I'm going to ask, like, how did we get here to where we're looking at, in some cases, the best at what we have to offer, right? Are we really putting up the best that we have to offer to represent us? Is it because of how politics are and have been since the Roman times that certain people that would really be for the people choose not to run because they don't want the stress of what politics does? I think that that could be the case. I think that because politics brings out the worst in others, or because of what political party that you may or may not sit in, and it causes people to either like you or dislike you just solely based on that, not because of your work, not because of the things that you've put in, but simply dislike you because of the party that you sit in or may sit in, that some people go, not worth it. Not worth it. God happened to me. I think you have given me a good topic for tomorrow. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. Let me take a screenshot of that. I am curious, during the second first year, how how people in general would consider Trump's first year in office. All right. That is my time for today. Shout out to those of y'all that joined live, and shout out to those of y'all who are going to tune in on the replay. If you have something to add to the conversation, please make your voice be heard and put it down here in the conversation. I've got to get ready to head to my 9 to 5. Hope y'all have a fantastic day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Trump has bled a golden call. A throne awaits, I rise so tall. Drums like thunder, shake the hall. Royal robe, I wear the weight. Diamonds cut the night, no debate. Heavy is the head, but I'm feeling great. Crown me king, crown me king. Horns will shout, let the kingdom sing. Crown me king, crown me king. Bow to the sound, feel the power I bring.
spring.